right, this is Dan Meehan for Fight News Australia, and today we have Kevin Jousset, who takes on Kaleb Rideout for the vacant Eternal welterweight title at Eternal 67 on July 16th. Kevin, how are you?
I'm good, and how's it going?
Yeah, good. Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, my pleasure. Always good.
Now, last time we caught up was it was just over a year ago, and you were getting ready to take on Saeed for Taifa at Eternal 59. So, yeah, what have you been up to since then?
Many things have happened since then. Some obviously this fight. I won the fight. That was like May last year, I believe. So yeah, that was a good fight. Had a lot of fun. I knew Said would bring it on, and yeah, that was a good war. So I was happy about the win. And then I've been traveling quite a fair bit. I've been to Europe visiting my family. Then I went to US, trained over there for a bit while COVID was happening in New Zealand and all those bullshit restrictions were going on. And I couldn't come back in the country as early as I wanted to. So yeah, I stayed in the US. And then yeah, I flew to Australia, stayed in Australia for a bit. And when they opened the border in New Zealand, I just flew back home right away. So yeah, and since then, training, and getting ready to bring the belt back to New Zealand.
Absolutely, and yeah, you touched on the Taifa fight there. It turned out to be a bit of a classic in the end. So, yeah, how do you reflect on that fight and that performance?
Yeah, good. I knew that Said was a tough opponent. Like I knew it, and that's why I really wanted this fight when they offered it to me. And yeah, no surprise. He was strong. I did a lot of damage. Couldn't get him out of the fight, but still, I believe made a clean win. So yeah, quite happy about this one. It was a bloody fight as usual. So yeah, that's the way to do it.
Absolutely, and yeah, I guess early-ish in your career, do you sort of learn a lot from a 3-round war like that?
Yeah, definitely, man. Like when we train here, like training is hard. Like we get so many good guys to train with, and we always push ourselves every single day. So winning in one round is good, but at the end of the day, like that's kind of frustrating if you don't really get to push yourself and test yourself. So yeah, when you get the opportunity to have a hard fight like that, and plus come with a good win at the end, that's just perfect.
Absolutely, and yeah, you said you had a stop over in the US there. Where did you sort of choose to do your training, and tell us a little bit about your time over there?
Yes, so I was in Austin, in Texas, for a couple of months. I was just working on my jiu-jitsu for 2 months, training at the B Team Jiu-Jitsu. So they have quite a good team there, like good people to train with, and good people in general. Then I joined the boys in Houston for 271 when Easy smoked Whitaker for the second time. And yes, I spent the week over there with them, and afterwards we went to Vegas. So I went to Vegas with them, and the boys were allowed to go back to New Zealand because they are Kiwis, so they have a Kiwi passport, but I don't, not yet. So yeah, I stayed in Vegas for a month, and afterwards I flew back to Australia and then New Zealand. And when I was in Vegas, I was training in Syndicate MMA. So yeah, some things have a good gym there, some good guys to train with, and that's always good to get to spar with some big names as well, and just realize where I'm at. So yeah, it was good.
Absolutely, and yeah, who did you get to share the mats with over there?
Many guys, many guys, like UFC guys, Bellator guys. Yeah, I won't say any names, but quite a few of them. So yeah, it was good fun.
Absolutely, and yeah, it looks like you got back over to France there for the first time since pre-COVID. So, what was it like to get back home and see your family again?
Man, it was good. I really needed it. As you probably know, like with what happened with our brother Volkanovski in last year, in May last year, when we lost him, and that was after my fight. I really felt and I needed to visit my family, and yeah, just seeing them again, because it's been 3 years before that, and it just made me realize that sometimes just some things happen and you never know when it's gonna stop. So yeah, just kept me honest, and I was very happy to go home, seeing everyone again, all my close ones, like family, friends, and everyone. Yeah, it felt great, man. And when I flew here, like the motivation is just like very high. So yeah, now I feel great, and I'm very glad I went home for a bit.
Oh, it's good to hear, and of course you were booked to fight at Eternal in April against David Francis, and obviously the whole event got cancelled in the end. It sounds like you might have suffered an injury along the way too. So how disappointing was that sort of scenario? And how's the body coming along now?
Yeah, no, it's much better. Yeah, yeah. So I actually injured my shoulder a few weeks before the fight. Tried to push through anyway, tried to get the fight going, but eventually that was just better to cut it in a sense, and I couldn't even lift my arm. So I had to fight only with one hand, which should have been a bit hard, but yeah, eventually we had to pull out, but they canceled the whole show anyway. So I was like, yeah, it is what it is. And yeah, but now my body is great. Like it gave me an extra couple of months to be ready. My body is 100%. My shoulder is great. Everything is feeling good. I'm as fit as it gets, and the weight is on point. And also being able to do my training camp here in New Zealand with my with my team, my trainers, my training partners, and yeah, that's just the best. Like I can't expect any better.
Yeah, absolutely. And now, of course, you're getting back to work against Kaleb Rideout for the Eternal welterweight title, and it looks like it might be your first main event there. Does that add a little bit of excitement, being at the top of the card?
Yeah, yeah. I've been main event in New Zealand, but first one on Eternal in Australia. But to be honest, main event or first fight of the night, I don't really care. Like at the end of the day, whoever else is in the cards, I just need to be focused on me. But yeah, for sure, like that's a good thing. That's a good thing because that will be live on Fight Pass, and that's always better to be the fight than people are waiting for. So yeah, that's just a small extra. But to be honest, they could put me the first fight of the night, I would do the same thing.
Yeah, absolutely, and of course the opponent is Kaleb Rideout. So how do you feel you match up with Kaleb, and how do you sort of assess his skills?
That's gonna be an interesting one. The dude has a very weird style. He does a lot of spinning and stuff like that, which makes it very interesting in a sense, and he's dangerous. Like the couple of knockouts he has come from very awkward situations and positions. So hard to get ready for this kind of stuff, but at the gym, I have all the stuff I need to. I have the best strikers in the world. I have some great grapplers as well, and yeah, I think I'm as well with anyone, to be honest. Like my striking is good, my grappling is good, and yeah, should be a good one. Should be fun.
Absolutely, and yeah, obviously, Caleb's had most of his success standing up with some of the sort of spinning techniques and that sort of thing. And of course, you have a judo background yourself, so obviously you can't give away too much. But where do you see the fight sort of taking place?
Yeah, well, he has, as you said, he has all of his wins standing, but that's always easy to look good in standing when you fight someone who doesn't know how to strike himself. So yeah, like yeah, he did beat some guys who were good. Don't get me wrong, but some of them were not strikers at all. And yeah, and yeah, some of my wins I won on the ground, some of them standing as well. Wherever it goes, to be honest, I'm happy. I just want some time in there. It's been 1 year, over 1 year now. So yeah, I just can't wait to fight again. And ideally, it's gonna last 25 minutes, but to be honest, I don't think he would be able to hold on for that long. So let's see what he does.
Yeah, for sure. So, you've obviously been cross training in sort of Europe and the US, and you've had some more time to train at City Kickboxing there. So, what kind of improvements can we expect to see this time around?
Man, I've improved everywhere. To be honest, I'm very happy because I just feel like keep improving in every area of the sport, which makes me very happy. But to be honest, we don't have anything without anything in a sense, and I keep improving because I'm in the gym every single day. Like on the weekends, the same thing. In between training, I watch videos. I watch videos like what's the name of it? instructionals and stuff like that. So I keep running even when I'm not at the gym, and that's what I do every single day. So of course I keep improving. And what are we gonna see? I'm not sure. It's gonna depend what he gives me. It's gonna depend. I don't know. Maybe he will want to strike, but he's gonna realize very fast and it's not a good idea. Maybe then he will try to grapple. But we know what happens when people try to get a hold of me. Usually they go flying. So let's see if he even tries. If he doesn't, maybe I keep it standing. Maybe I won't, and then take him down. Let's see how it goes. Let's see how we feel.
Absolutely. Now, in the tail end of your camp, you've had Carlos Hjulberg and Israel Adesanya, Alex Volkanovski, and Brad Riddell head over to the US to compete in the UFC, and obviously taking Eugene with them. So, from a purely selfish perspective, is that disruptive at all for you, sort of being in camp with them missing?
No. Like, well, I've spent like most of my camp with them, so we're training all together. And they flew just a few days ago, and then straight after the fight, they are back. And I know the boys. They'll be back in the gym. They'll be back helping me, and that's how it is. Like they would do it. They will do it right away. And same thing for Eugene. Eugene is back on Tuesday, Wednesday, I believe. So we'll have another week together doing pads and stuff before we fly together to Australia. And he's coming with me to Gold Coast. So yeah, no, and at the end of the day, like they need to do their job too. They need to fight, and that's the way it is. Plus, obviously, you guys know like all the UFC guys who are flying overseas to fight. But at the gym, I have 20 other guys who are welterweights, middleweights, and who gives me as many troubles than the UFC guys, and So that's okay. Like we have plenty of fighters, and you guys don't know yet. But trust me, within the next 5 years, many of them you will know their names for sure.
Absolutely, and he's obviously not a welterweight, but did you get to move around with Alex Volkanovski? While he was over there, my Fight Talk Down Under podcast co-host Justin Van Heerden speaks pretty glowingly. So,
yeah. Tiny bit with Alex. But obviously less with Alex than Israel and stuff, because Alex is much lighter, and also for the game plans that doesn't make as much sense, in a sense that my opponent is taller than me and Alex is a tiny bit shorter. So I've known Alex for a while. I trained with him even when I was in Australia from like 2016, 2017. So I've known him for a while. But yeah, it's always good when he's over here in New Zealand. We get to share some time together. Great training partner. He's an inspiration in a sense, and same thing. He's always trying to learn new things, hard worker and everything. So yeah, that's great when he's over for sure.
Absolutely, and this interview might come out after the fight, but you might be judged in retrospect for this one. But give us your prediction for Israel and Alex's fights against Jared Cannonier and Max Holloway.
All right, so let's say with Brad first, because Brad is on the card too. I believe Brad will win probably second or third round. I believe that Jalen Turner gonna realize that he can't outstrike Brad, so he's gonna try to be a bit over aggressive, and he's gonna pay the price for it. And Brad will probably knock him out end of round 2 or round 3. Alex, I believe, would make it very clean and probably will win decision by just being too good on each single round, so probably 50-45. And easy against Cannonier, I think that's gonna be bad for Cannonier. I think that's gonna look a lot like Paulo Costa without the humping at the end, but otherwise it's gonna be the same kind of fight. He's probably gonna outstrike him quite easily. So let's see, should be a good one. And I wouldn't be surprised if Izzy out-grapple him too. Let's see how it goes. Izzy is a much better grappler than you guys think, and you will know soon. So yeah, let's see.
Absolutely. Yeah, sounds good. And last time we caught up, you were pretty clear that the UFC was the major goal for you as well. So we've seen in the past that capturing the Eternal title puts you right on the UFC's doorstep. So where do you think a win on July 16 would place you in terms of signing with the big leagues?
As close as it gets. Like most of my fights have been exciting. I do believe that I'm the best welterweight out of this region, and once I get the belt on my waist, that will be official. So hopefully before the end of the year, let's see if they need more fights for me to get signed, and I'm happy to fight. That's what I do. I love it anyway. But ideally, I win this fight in a great fashion, and hopefully the fight after is for the UFC.
Absolutely. And do you get any sort of feedback? Do you get any kind of inkling that you're on the radar of the big leagues at all?
Yeah, well, yeah. I won't get too much into details, but obviously, I know that Eugene and Ash, my manager, are working on it. It's been a while already, and yeah, I do believe that it will happen sooner than later.
Brilliant. Well, Kevin, before I let you go, do you have any sponsors or anyone you'd like to shout out? I'll hand the reins over to you.
Yeah, well, I have quite a few people helping me out, so they know who they are. Thank you for all of them, and most important, my gym, all the guys I get to share the mat with every single day. That's the people who really matters. That's those guys who make everything possible. So my trainers and every single training partner at City Kickboxing.
Brilliant. Well, Kevin, thank you so much for stopping by once again, and all the best on July 16th.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Thank you.